Hello, this is Sheshachalam from Astrology Mysore. So today we are discussing the sixth house or the sixth bhava related to medical astrology and the significations of the sixth house. So as we spoke to the fifth house, we came till the first part of the small intestine, the duodenum, but still in the sixth house also there is a slight overlap that the duodenum is also included. The duodenum, the ileum, the jejunum, all the small intestine and the large intestine, the parts of the liver in a different sense, that these are all merged with the fifth and the sixth house. The pancreas, the kidney, the appendix, these are all merged up. So the fifth house will touch the upper part of these organs and the sixth house will also touch them. So when you take the spectrum of the fifth and the sixth house, you get all these parts having dual placements. So the hips are represented by the sixth house, which is very important to understand, because in old age, most of the cases with you know cases of old aged men and women going through hip fractures is very common. So we can also understand it from the horoscope. The lower thoracic region and the upper lumbar region is also understood by the sixth house, and it is spread over between the fifth and the sixth houses. The spine of that particular region is very, very important. That is from C till L3 and L4. These are all the spinal, the bones L1, L2, L3, L4, and also the tailbone, which come into this particular region, and that is where we can understand the position of planets and the sixth house in correlation can give us an insight as to whether a person is suffering from sciatica, the nervous problem because of the bulging of any one of the lumbar bones. So this is a general understanding of the parts represented by the sixth house. The appendix also comes into the sixth house. So we know that appendix is something like nowadays they say that appendix has also a part to play, which earlier days when we were studying they were telling that it is just an appendage, an appendix, it is not of any that much of relevance. But you go through problems called as appendicitis, and we also know that the large intestine, when it sags down in a particular lower abdomen region and the motion of the tools is not clear, the stools are not clear, then it gets into clogging, which is also known as hernia. So these things are all to be seen from the sixth house. So in the Uttara Kalamrita written by Kalidasa, there are certain types of problems of health which is shown in the sixth house, that is phlegm, that is kapha. The we have three humors of the Ayurvedic, that is the vata, pitta, kapha. Vata, biliousness, sorry, airiness, that is bloating and gaseousness, and pitta, that is biliousness, and kapha, phlegm. So phlegm is seen from the sixth house. We can see tumors, smallpox, venereal boils, heavy breathing, tuberculosis, wounds, mental agony or worry. We call it as chinta, that is over anxiety and tension about some particular incident, going into regression, regret, depression, that can be seen from the sixth house. Frequent getting into diseases, being a little weak with regard to the constitution, can be seen from the sixth house. And particularly the constitution of the strength of the eyes can be seen from the sixth house. This is referred in Uttara Kalamrita by Kalidasa. Peptic or duodenal ulcer very, very important to know. Urinary ailments and dysentery because of food poisoning and also some infections. So the sixth house has a big range of problems which can be associated in medical astrology. And anyway, the sixth house, we know that house, we call it as the Rogasthana. That is the house in which we can understand the problems of health. So the placement of the sixth lord, the planets placed in the sixth house, the position, aspect, and conjunction of the sixth house and the sixth lord is to be verified in any chart to understand what sort of problems a person can, go through. So this is the actual, generally speaking, this is the coverage of the sixth house. You have anything to add?
Yeah, weak constitution. That is why we say Deha Kashta Yoga. So whether the Lagna Lord is in sixth house or sixth Lord is in Lagna house, in the Lagna.
Yeah. So Deha Kashta Yoga, I have explained Deha Kashta Yoga. In my videos, I also have added the sixth house into Deha Kashta Yoga because Roga, that is not only physical impairment gives Deha Kashta, that is discomfort to the physical body or pain to the physical body, is also because of illness or illness related discomfort. The eighth house Deha Kashta Yoga is because of physical discomfort, because of a type of handicap, different kinds of discomfort in the eighth house. So there are two Deha Kashta Yogas. One is Rogagrasta Deha Kashta Yoga. The other one is having various problems associated in the eighth house. When we come to the eighth house, we will discuss about that. So Deha Kashta Yoga can also be referred to one of my videos. I will link it in one of my in the end screen. So you can also go through that Deha Kashta Yoga. You can go through the main Kalapurusha table which is there in Medical Astrology 1. That also I'll include in the end screen. So thank you very much for today's class.